basically throwing the man he replaced in Minneapolis under the bus, but also raising some really important questions about this accountability issue, as we were just discussing. There is lying happening, and in this case, it was by one of the top officials. Shouldn't there be accountability for that?
I love Tom Homan. He said it just right. He perfectly pitched it because he understood the politics of it and the on-the-grounds optics of it. And he completely deflated the media's narrative that we don't hold our own people accountable. He's holding his own team accountable.
Except that Tom Homan himself has not been held accountable for the $50,000 he collected from an undercover FBI agent in a kava bag, and yet he's still up there running this department. Where is the credibility when you have people who are themselves, who should be under investigation, who are telling the American public that other people will be investigated?
Yeah. There's also the case, by the way, of that woman who was shot 5 times by federal officers. And there was body cam footage. They still lied about it. They tried to charge her with the crime, and it was only revealed when the judge looked at the footage and said they threw out the case. So have those officers been prosecuted? Yeah. No, not that I know of.
That's right. This administration cannot be trusted, and they can be trusted to hold themselves accountable. Even after the killing of Alex Pretty and Renee Good, they didn't want to share information about what was happening, which is why we have to abolish ICE. We have to abolish the Customs and Border Patrol in the way that they currently exist and replace them with something that actually does the work that we need for them to do, which is why we need a Congress that works and that is effective at holding these people in this administration accountable. I'll tell you what the work is not. The work is not killing American citizens.
You said the work we
in
need
our
them to do. I'm interested in your opinion. What is the work that we need them to do?
Absolutely. One, the work is not killing American citizens.
No, what is the work we need them to do?
Well, first, let's look at what they don't need to do. They don't need to go into communities like Memphis,
do they need to deport illegal aliens?
Where they're currently terrorizing and traumatizing our communities. What we also need to make sure is that we have elected officials who are creating a pathway of opportunity for people who are currently undocumented.
Do we need a federal law enforcement agency to deport illegal aliens, yes or no?
We do need a federal law enforcement agency that deals with immigration, that doesn't kill people.
To deport illegal aliens,
what we
yes or no?
also need is laws that make sure that people who are undocumented...
Is there a single illegal alien that you would deport?
You know, this is what I want you to focus on.
Is there one?
I want you to focus on. There are a lot of people in this country and in this community, in our communities, that have done so much to make them better, and we need to be prioritizing how we create opportunity and access for them to be there.
Is this the Democratic position for 26?
The Democratic
that there are no
position
illegal aliens that should be deported?
The Democratic position in 26 is that we don't terrorize American citizens, we don't terrorize undocumented people,
if you were advising Democrats in 26, would you advise them to answer this question this way, that you can't say there is a single illegal alien that should be deported by the federal government?
What is shocking to me is that you think you can narrow the challenges of immigration,
There's 20 million
that you can challenge the issues of immigration into one yes or no question, when the reality is the policies and practices
should we follow the law is the yes or no
administration have led to the deaths of American citizens and has not produced the results that
no deportations. That's the Democratic position.
This was fascinating as an exchange, but, you know, Scott, the gotcha questions.
It's not gotcha. It's a legitimate question. What do you think about it? I'm interested as an opinion.
I don't represent the Democratic Party. I represent my own interest. And what the Democratic Party does is up to them. But I actually agree with what Justin said. I think that there is a role for immigration enforcement, obviously, in this country. But I don't think we need to use ICE to be doing that. We were able to do this in this country before ICE was created, and we don't need them in the future. But having said that, I objected the whole time that you used illegals and you used illegal aliens. I don't think anyway. I don't think they are undocumented people. They are human beings. They're not illegals. They're not illegal aliens.
They're in the country illegally.
That's dehumanizing terminology that you're using.
Is the word illegal alien in the law?
Regardless of what the law says, regardless of what the law says, it's dehumanizing terminology.
The law has other terms that we wouldn't use, but yeah.
Okay. All right, we got to go.